Day 59. Today I'm going to travel epistemological lens to learn something about the essence of trees of knowledge. The question I want to wrestle with is all about the difference between a priori and a posteriori. In plain English, a priori means before experience, and a posteriori after experience. If all our knowledge comes from experience, a priori does not make any sense. However, we have such things as time, space, and causality, which in Kantian philosophy considered as necessary components of all experiences. As Schopenhauer says in his essay Transcendent Speculation on the Apparent Deliberateness of Fate of Individual, without exception, everything that happens takes place with strict necessity, and this is a truth to be understood a priori, and consequently to be regarded as irrefutable. I've been trying to refute this a priori truth for more than 8 years with no success. I've been tracking myself for all these years, recording everything that I was doing, making daily paper, audio, and video notes, reading the greatest thinkers who dedicated a substantial part of their lives to meditate on this problem, if it may be called a problem though. And after all, I haven't found anything plausible to disprove the dogma that every event is the particular link in a chain of causes and effects, which proceeds in the direction of time. And yet it is still a fresh and fascinating question that never exhausts my imagination. Even though no experience is possible without time, space, and causality, and therefore requires them as a priori conditions for its own existence, the absurdity of existence compels me to look for irrational possibilities. Otherwise, how the hell could I explain the contradiction between what I see and what I know? So this was my morning meditation. I was writing about a priori and a posteriori in thinking, trying to understand this question. I already understood it like 8 years ago when I was studying Kantian philosophy and Schopenhauerian philosophy. I used to dedicate an hour a day to read Kantian Critique of Pure Reason. I started doing that in April of 2013. I remember this period because it was quite extensive period of my experience. And before I read the Critique of Pure Reason, I read all Schopenhauerian books, like not all 6 volumes of his collected works. It was from August of 2012 till February 2013. Well, I wouldn't say I read all of his books at this period, but I remember at February 2013, I first read the Critique of Pure Reason. It was the end of February. I didn't read it. I didn't read it with full attention. It was just, I learned to understand Kantian concepts. And after I first read the book, I decided to study it. And then I started reading it slowly in April. So it was March. During March, I was reading Schopenhauer. I finished reading his essays, which I am reading right now, Parega and Paralipomena. I was reading Kant and Schopenhauer simultaneously in March and April of 2013. So I dedicated 1 hour of my time to read Schopenhauer, these essays, 2 volumes in Russian edition, and an hour a day to study Kant. And I was going through each paragraph of the Critique of Pure Reason, an hour a day spent on one paragraph, trying to figure out what all these concepts meant and how can I understand them, how can I, not just understand them through learning something, memorizing, but using them in my own experience, or just, trying to kind of put it in my own words. So it's like I learned it, and then I tried to write down my thoughts. I tried to explain what I read through my native language. So instead of using all Kantian concepts, I tried to put it in my own explanation. And it took me 2 months to get all these things about a priori, a posteriori, things in themselves, like to fully grasp. Of course, I wouldn't say that I fully grasped that at that time, but it seemed to me that I realized something that I couldn't understand before, and then I stopped studying Kantian, like this book, The Critique of Pure Reason. I just proceeded to read forward Kant, and I read all his other volumes, like Critique of Practical Reason, Critique of Judgment, Capacity of Judgment, Metaphysics, Critique of Metaphysics, some other books which I don't remember. Like, I don't remember their titles even. But anyway, yeah, it's like I continued reading Kant till the end of summer of 2013. And after that, I never actually got back to Kant. I was studying Nietzsche, other philosophers, and after Nietzsche criticized Kant so strongly and severely that I didn't have any desire to read Kant after Nietzsche. But now I want to, like what I'm doing now with my English. So I had this enormous experience of studying philosophy in my native language. I spent in literature and poetry and all sorts of, things related to language. So I spent almost 8 years reading the greatest books. My goal at that moment, I didn't have a special goal, but my intuition led me to discover the best thinkers who ever lived before, and I wanted to read all their original works. And that was I was doing for 8 years. And then when I shifted to English, I had the same idea in mind that I need to get through all amazing books, which I already read in Russian. I remember there may be like 50 books. Actually, I would like to read like few hundreds, but probably 50. Yeah, 50 is like the right amount to start with. So, and I thought that I'll need to improve my English till I'll be able to speak about it, till I'll be able to explain the concepts which I remember from these books. And I was studying English just to get to this point where I may start my the same journey which I already got in my native language and start doing the same thing in English. And that's what now what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to focus my attention on studying philosophy, and first I'm going to read Schopenhauer and then get through all books which I read in my Russian. So now it's like in a comparison with my Russian experience, I am somewhere in 2012 when I first encountered Schopenhauer and started reading him. Now I plan to read Kant, like first Schopenhauer, then Kant, then I think I'll spend maybe half a year or even a year studying English philosophers like deeply, because now I have this opportunity to read them in original, and I'll dedicate a lot of time studying Hobbes, Locke, Hume, and Berkeley. So these four philosophers, I guess at least I have to read five books of each of these philosophers, and I mean big books, not maybe five. Let's see, 1,000 pages of every philosopher which I mentioned I have to read. And I'm going to do that after I finish with Kant. And and then I'm going to go to study some modern philosophers. In a year, I have something to read for the next few years, and simultaneously I'm going to develop my English-speaking club and English-speaking community of Kaluga. But yeah, it's I wanted to talk about a priori and a posteriori from the beginning, and that's what I was thinking for the whole hour. But then I started speaking, and I see that it's not so important for me. My mind is occupied with different thoughts and different ideas. I like to think about speaking up. I like to remember some sequences of events which happened in my life, and I like to put them in a new light and a new order. And that's actually amazing. And while I was writing this note, like at first it was really exciting, but then at the middle of like my meditation, I realized that it's not already something I want to continue talking about. And I was thinking, well, maybe I need to stop here and start like from something new. But then like a different thought came to my mind, and I thought, no, it's like I need to continue. I need to finish the thought, and then probably I'll talk about it. But it was kind of like forceful. I like to write when I don't feel any pressure. So when I write, I just sit. I may think. I may choose words carefully, like sitting and thinking about one sentence for like 2-3 minutes. But it shouldn't be forceful. But today it was kind of forceful, and at the end of the note, I was trying to choose something, to find something to finish the the thought, the idea, and I didn't like it. And usually when I'm writing, it's like why I have many amazing emotions and experiences. When I'm writing, I feel good, and I like to continue doing that. But in some cases, it turns out otherwise. So I don't I start thinking about something, and I see that it's hard. I guess one of the reasons why it was hard to me today to develop this idea was because I used Schopenhauerian quotes from his book, trying to put them in my own stream of consciousness. And since I put them in my journal, I started describing them, interpreting them, and it all distracted the natural flow. Yeah, I was thinking yesterday a lot about, again, this difference between real and ideal, and I realized that when I talk to the camera, what bothers me, I usually tend to think that there's a big difference in my thoughts and in what I'm saying. And if I don't like what I'm saying, if I make a mistake, or if I just go aside and discuss some irrelevant stuff, or just if I look stupid or look weird, or if I start one idea and can't finish it, I usually tend to think, oh, it's silly, it's not me, it's not reality, it's just, I need to erase it and record a new video. But to be comfortable with your essence, to be comfortable with your, real self, it requires to pay attention to everything. If I say something silly, that's okay. That's my real self. I'm silly. I have to admit that. I can't get rid of my stupidity if I'll erase everything and leave only perfect, whatever, speeches. If I just record a video for an hour and then take only some fruits of the video and put them in 1 5-minute video and then show you and say, look, this is how smart and intelligent I am. But in reality, no, I need to learn how to be essentially okay with everything what I say. And this is this is truth. This is whatever I say, this is real self. And when I try to make it better, when I try to, delete something and present myself from a kind of better side and say, look, actually I'm smarter, I'm better, I understand better the idea of content, Schopenhauerian philosophy. It actually what makes me weaker. So what makes me stronger is admitting all these things which I say. I have to admit that whatever I say, it's for me now. It's who I am and what I'm doing. And if it's silly, if it looks stupid, that's exactly it's my essence. I'm stupid now, and that's also okay. I shouldn't be resistant, and I shouldn't be upset with that. I shouldn't think, oh man, it's if I say something stupid and show it, it makes me look stupid. But I am not stupid. I'm a smart person, and I may think I'm a smart person, and I'm afraid to show my smartness. But in reality, it's okay to be silly. It's okay to be stupid. Nobody cares too much about whether you're smart or stupid. It's even sometimes even better to be silly than to be smart. Then Look on the internet, all sorts of stupidity there, and people spend like hours watching shit every day. And so many smart things there, lectures, books, all sorts of wisdom on the internet, and it deserves way more attention. But people don't pay attention because stupidity is more popular than wisdom. Why not be stupid? Let's be stupid. Let's say something silly. Why should I always care about saying something smart? About appearance, yeah, I have to care more about the essence than appearance, but essence comes from experience, so I have to care more about reading books, understanding, thinking. And when I speak, if I say something stupid, that's okay. I don't have enough experience, I don't have enough understanding. I have to learn more to get better, to understand it better. And I can't talk about everything. The point is, what I'm doing here, it's just my way of learning myself. So I'm trying to figure out who I am, what I'm doing to understand myself better. And I may be silly and stupid, that's okay. See you next time. Bye bye.